Let's bring in James Gagliano. He's a retired FBI supervisor, special agent, retired FBI New York City crisis management coordinator who oversaw crisis hostage negotiator unit in New York City. And the reason I explain all of that in your titles, James, is that the FBI is saying they currently are operating a 24-hour command post, including crisis management experts, analytics support, and investigative teams. What exactly does that mean, and how will that help the case specifically?
Great question, Ainsley. And really what's going on right now is a fusion between state, local, and obviously federal officials. And you guys were talking about it just a minute ago. The FBI does have purview in kidnapping cases if it is easily known that it's an interstate connection. Until you can prove that, they're not. They're second seat unless the authorities on the ground decide to pull them in. Also, there's cases if there's a kid involved where the FBI might take the lead on this. In this instance, the Pima County Sheriff's Office, that's a department of about 1,500 people, 600 sworn officers, have the lead. How does this work? The FBI is a 500-pound gorilla. When it comes on scene, we set up a tactical operations center. That could be a brick-and-mortar building, or in most instances like this one, it would probably operate out of a mobile command post. Where does that come from? That would come from the Phoenix office. The Phoenix FBI office has 7 satellite offices. There's one in Tucson, Arizona, and they'll be pulling agents from there. What goes on inside? Well, the biggest thing is lead management. Why is that? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads are coming in. Most of them amount to nothing, but you never want the public to think not to say something. You want them to send the lead in. But there's a triage that goes on there, and the bosses make those decisions. Lastly and finally, you'll have hostage rescue team members there. You'll have crisis negotiators and behavioral analysis specialists there. They'll all be working in concert with the state and local officials that'll be close by.
James, with the delay and the fact that the crime scene was released when it should not have been released because you had cooperating victims here, do you worry that there was contamination done?
Yeah. LJ, great question from a law enforcement perspective, and I'm surprised that we're this close for this shoot today because the scene was turned over, I believe, and many in my field believe, a little prematurely. And why was that? Well, they made a decision that they'd harvest all of the forensic evidence they could. And what happened in the beginning, and I don't blame law enforcement for this, it's tough. It started out as a missing persons case. You had an 84-year-old woman, somebody that had some physical maladies, and the concern was that, hey, maybe she had stumbled somewhere, gotten hurt or whatever, and they treated it as a missing persons case. That brought so many people into the location right over my shoulder here, and they trampled over everything. The driveway you see here, you should have been able to pull, if somebody had driven in there, you should have been able to pull tire prints from there. But the gravel gets disturbed. There were numbers of vehicles that were in there. People touched things without gloves on, things like that, and that would have made it a contaminated crime scene and make it not impossible, Lawrence, but make it so much more of a difficult situation for law enforcement.
What does it tell you that Savannah Guthrie went from reading things specifically with the words being very carefully written, she even checked the copy, and being with her siblings, and now by herself just saying, I need anything, even if you're not around, don't live around here, anything you've seen. Read between the lines. Does that show a degree of frustration, and does it reveal what we all think? They got absolutely no one. For her to do that yesterday shows that there's nothing, there's no hope except for the general public.
Well, Brian, let's be clear. The FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Office have both stated they do not even have a person of interest. Remember, a person of interest isn't necessarily a suspect. Right. It could be somebody who's a material witness that might just have information. They don't even have that. Brian, what you're describing is basically the alchemy or how an investigation transforms as you get more evidence or you come upon a dearth of evidence, which is what we're dealing with right now. I detected a big distinction. If you notice, Savannah wasn't working off of notes. This was a heartfelt appeal to the public, to us, to people in other states that please, if you hear anything, see anything, please reach out to law enforcement. Very different than the pointed message to the kidnappers or the abductors that was crafted by law enforcement. That's what we do. We advise best practices. Say this, don't say this. Humanize your mother. Make the appeal this way. Don't be threatened threatening. All these kind of things are what the crisis negotiation unit would have been coaching Savannah on in the first two instances. The last one, that was all Savannah.
James, is it just me, or the public wants more information? Do you think that there needs to be a press conference, even if they don't have new information, just to tell us who was the last person to see her? Because at first it was reported that it was Nancy's son-in-law that dropped her off and watched her walk in the garage, watched the door close. But then we heard the police might have walked that back. We just all are invested in this. It's something that everyone across our country is talking about. We've all been praying for Nancy. I just feel like we need some more information now that we're 10 days in.
Ainsley, you know what? That is a fair question, but this is what I would say about that. I believe in these instances, having worked crisis incidents for almost 25 years, I believe less is more. You put out what needs to be put out, and you don't want to step on the message. You don't want conflicting information. And if you notice, when this whole thing started on February 1st, just 9 days ago, 10 days ago, that was the problem. Too much information was being put out, and that's not always good. And I'll wrap it up with this, Ainsley. This is not a typical civilian kidnapping case. If this was me, you wouldn't see this kind of coverage, and there's a reason for that. With celebrity comes some benefit, and in this instance, the President of the United States has said you are going to have the full resources of the federal law enforcement. But the drawback to that is you see the family's pain, and the family has to live this every single day. So it is a benefit. You hope the word gets out there, and if this 84-year-old grandmother can be found, we hope that crowdsourcing, what we're doing right now, leads to her recovery.
But James, now that you're on the ground and with all your experience, what immediately, I would say, stands out to you on the ground that you weren't able to see when you were analyzing this from New York?
Brian, I've been on almost every continent in the world. I've been across most of the 50 states chasing bad guys. And during that period of time, there is nothing you can trade for boots on the ground. I was stunned, literally stunned this morning as we arrived on location here to see what this looked like. I've seen the drone coverage of it. I've seen our live shots the past couple of days. Nothing can prepare you from actually having boots on the ground. It is so serene here. I have never been in a place like this, and I've been all over the world. What I was immediately struck by was this, the darkness. On February 1st, there was a full moon. I think we're in like the half moon phase right now. Even with a full moon, the light pollution out here is negligible. There's none. It is so dark, and the type of cacti, the flora and fauna that are native here in Arizona, for somebody to be able to sneak up in the dark, not to be seen, or to bring a car in with no lights on the road right behind my shoulder. Brian, LJ, this really took my breath away about how difficult this is going to be, and it made a lot more sense to me why somebody that night might not have seen anything.
James, will it be solved?
I always say this, Ainsley, and I've been right almost every single time. The good guys always win here. There are no perfect crimes. I mean, this isn't the era of Jack the Ripper where you don't have any of the forensics and any of the police sciences. This case will be solved, and we're all praying for a wonderful reunion with Savannah and her mother and her family.
James, thank you so much.
Thank you,
We
James.
appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.